Marcus Rashford has 1 year left on his contract at Old Trafford, but he has let it be known that he wants to stay despite reported interest from Spurs. Is this a wise thing to do, Robbo?
I think he's gone a bit stale at Manchester United. He hasn't improved over the last couple of years. The crowd have got onto him. But I think being a homegrown player, if he started to re-find his form, the crowd would get behind him again. There's a new manager, new feeling around the club, hopefully, for Manchester United. I don't think you want to move to a new club while you're out of form and out of confidence. So I think an extension will be the right thing for Marcus.
Certainly not Spurs when you've got Lucas Moura and Kulusevski and
I think it's the right thing for him to say.
You got a year left.
Yeah.
If you perform under Ten Hag, you'll get a new deal. Yeah. If you don't perform, you'll be a free agent and you can go wherever you like.
Now, Busquets at Barcelona said he's willing to take a pay cut if it helps strengthen Barcelona's financial position, but that nobody from the club has yet been in touch with him. What's your thoughts on that, Gab?
Okay, well, so first of all, I tip my hat to Sergio Busquets. He's obviously loyal to the club.
When ESPN have troubles, you do exactly the same, don't you? Say, you say, I'll have a pay cut, please.
Absolutely. So he's willing to go and help out. I don't know if it's true that nobody's been in touch. I would have hoped at least they've been in touch with their agent. I hope that they can all read their financial reports and the danger that they're in of not being able to register anybody. I would have thought that this is something obvious that you do. But again, kudos to Busquets that he's willing to go out and do this. Gabriel Jesus continues to be shopped all around Europe. Robbo, he's been linked to Real Madrid as well, but there's a ton of talk of an Arsenal move. Of course, he's got 1 year left on his deal at City, and I think we can take it as read that he's not going to get a new one. Can he be an effective center forward, or is he really a wide player these days? Does he fit what Arsenal need?
I still think Arsenal need an out-and-out centre-forward, and I don't think Jesus has proved at Manchester City he's a top-class centre-forward. I've seen him play some big games.
But he scored 4 goals in one game.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was playing as an out-and-out centre-forward for the whole of that game.
Right.
I mean, he came from the right-hand side, he came from slightly deeper. When he's playing as an out-and-out centre-forward, I don't think his play with his back to goal is quite good enough. I think he's somebody that likes the ball in front of him. When he was playing for Man City, because the opposition dropped deep, there wasn't that space to run him behind. If he went to Arsenal and played as a centre-forward, not every team's going to drop that deep. They might try and squeeze up, and he could run him behind. But I would say at the moment, when I've seen him play, he's looked a better right-sided player than he has a centre-forward. So Real Madrid could be a good move for him if they are interested, because if Benzema was not fit, he could play as a centre-forward. When Benzema is fit, he could play as a right-sided player, the position that they've had problems with.
Okay, but if you're Arsenal, right, if you can see this and you're not sure he's a centre-forward, why are you messing around? You don't need him as a winger. You've got Saka and Smith Rowe and, goodness knows Martinelli. And
So I'm not sure it's the ideal move for Arsenal.
Gareth Bale is a free agent, Robbo. He's been linked to Getafe, though his agent, who, by the way, I think is still officially Jonathan Barnett, but in this case, it's not Jonathan Barnett. It's Joshua Barnett, who is his son and, I guess, business partner. He said, no, he's not going to Getafe. I don't even have the number of the Getafe president. What kind of club do you think suits him at this stage? Presumably not Getafe.
Obviously not. If I was Gareth Bale, I wouldn't have thought money would be a big issue, but he wants to play football. He needs to play football. He needs to go to a club where he's going to be picked every week. He's going to get his confidence back. He's going to play on a regular basis. He's going to affect the team. So I would say a mid-table Premier League club, maybe a mid-table Spanish club, Getafe.
No, okay. So here's my thing. We talked about this on the show, right? Because I think this is actually really interesting. If I'm Gareth Bale, obviously my priority is the World Cup. So I take your point about going to a place where he's comfortable, where he can play every week. I might also add where maybe he can play every week without much pressure. Because if he goes to a mid-table Premier League club, if he goes to, I don't know.
Everton?
Everton, Brighton, whatever, right? There will be pressure.
Yeah.
Because you're in the Premier League and because you'll be the biggest star on the team. Even if you sign for not a lot of money and so on. And so I'm not 100%, you're going to get caught up in that. So what some people have suggested is, what if he went to Cardiff? So he's back home.
Yeah.
Plays for Cardiff. Again, not about the money.
In the Championship.
Plays in the Championship. There's still a level of physicality.
And also they're probably going to be near the top of the Championship, so they'll be winning games. He's going to be on the front foot rather than having to do a lot of defending. So
exactly. Plays when he wants to.
Yeah.
Can get his He can go and, he can find his feet, he can get his fitness back. All the pressure's not going to be there, certainly not between now and November. It might be post-World Cup if they're competing for the playoffs or promotion or whatever. Do you like that?
I like that, Gab, yes. Maybe you should be his agent rather than Joshua Barnett.
I think Joshua Barnett might have already thought of that.
Yeah.
Paulo Dybala has moved to Inter inches closer, Robbo. Does a Dybala-Lautaro partnership work in a 3-5-2? Or is this a hint that Lautaro may be on his way? Inter have said we may need to sacrifice a big piece this summer. Inter's big pieces are Bastoni, Barella, and Lautaro Martinez. I'm not forgetting anybody, am I?
No, I don't think so. It can work. You don't always have to have a big striker who's good with his back to goal and a small striker that makes little runs in behind him. You can play with two clever players, and Dybala's a clever player, Lautaro's a clever player. They can certainly forge an understanding and be dynamic as a partnership. So it doesn't mean that Lautaro's going, but you just mentioned it. They're going to get rid of one big piece of the jigsaw. It could be Martinez. But as a front two, I think it would work quite well. I haven't always been a fan of Dybala. I think he's drifted in and out of games. But towards the end of his Juventus career, he started to once again show his true quality.
My thoughts on Dybala is just simply it's all about the money. If you get him at the right price and for the right length of contract, it makes sense. If you overpay and then the guy just starts getting injured and being weird again, then it's a mistake.
Now, Alexandre Lacazette has returned to Lyon as a free agent after leaving Arsenal. Gab, is this a good home for him, given that they already have Moussa Dembele and Ekambi?
Carl Toko Ekambi, that's right, yeah. So, this is where it all started for him. I love the idea of players at the end of their career returning home on a free transfer. I really like Lacazette. Is he...
As a character, as a player, or both?
As a player. I mean, is he Lewandowski? No. Is he outstanding? Is he going to score you 25 goals in the Premier League? I think not at this stage, which is presumably why Arsenal let him go. But I think he's a great guy.
Would you say he was a success at Arsenal?
Not where I would. I mean, the fact that the money they spent on him, I don't know. I would lean to that's maybe not a move you do again. And given the fact that the team didn't necessarily get better and they still had to go and spend money on Aubameyang and whatever. I mean, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I wasn't a great fan of him at Lyon. I thought he actually, on occasions, played better at Arsenal than I expected him to. But I think they paid too much for him, and it wasn't a great move.
What I wonder about, though, is Moussa Dembele, because Moussa Dembele scored 21 goals for Lyon last season. He's got a year left on his contract. Is he somebody that they're going to look to move on? Because I think Moussa Dembele is a reliable goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. Lacazette's not a
for
reliable
the right
goal
team.
scorer.
Yeah. And, of course, all of this is modulated by the whole Peter Bosz lens, which, Jules and I, not fans.
No.
I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy, but just, Right. James Tarkowski, reportedly close to joining Everton. Robbo, is he what they need? Is he that big defensive upgrade? Our producer, Graham, filling in for Freddie today, big Everton fan. He's dying to know.
I've already had a chat with him about this, and he thinks it would be a good sign, a leader. And I would, to a certain degree, agree with him. I think he's been a good player for Burnley. He played well for England when he played for England. Mina, Keane, Holdgate, Ben Godfrey, all decent players. Tarkowski, I think, would be just an improvement on those players. And
you think he's better than all of them?
Mina, I think, can be an outstanding player and great in the air, but he's had his injury problems. Ben Godfrey, can he play at centre-half or right-back? If they play with a back three, which I think Lampard might want to do, they need another centre-half, and Tarkowski would be the ideal replacement, I would say, or addition.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.